Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is the Weekly Updates. As always, very first link down below is Weekly Shonen Jump. Please check it out. It was a really dang good week this week. Oh my god, Jump was fantastic. My hero honestly really loved the chapter. There's one bit of it that is extremely, obvious, that is extremely, this is just an explanation of something that I was losing my mind over just because it worked so well. It made my brain just click. But I mean, One Piece is also absolutely slapping, and truly, Elusive Samurai. As much as I'm not a big fan of this cover page to celebrate the anniversary, like Elusive Samurai is killing it. We are the blessed to have Yusei Matsui. Truly, like. I truly think by the end of it, Elusive Samurai will be a series I like more than Assassination Classroom. And that's hard to say because Ass Class is much tighter. Like, I do think, it appeals to me more in terms of, I really like school. I really like, a big class of characters that we slowly, go through over the course of the entire series and get their deals and we grow attached to all of them in their own special ways. Elusive Samurai doesn't quite do that as well, but it's not really trying to. What it's trying to do is to be way more of an epic, to try and, cover a much broader span of time, to try and, fictionalize things that were already crazy in, history and make them truly, the level of insanity you can only get from manga. And I think it nails that so well. Every week is a joy to read. Every, arc especially is just fantastic. Like, I love it week to week, but I do think if you haven't read it, read it in volumes. I do think in volumes is probably the best way to read it. But yeah, it's so glad the series is still running. I mean, Asumi is also fantastic. We're doing great. We're doing great. And also, this is how I learned that Blue Exorcist had a season 3. I don't remember if I said this in the reaction or not. Because this would have been up, but I think I saw this when I was setting up for the week's jump, and I went nuts. Because this is the most it's truly like a 7-year schedule in between seasons. Which yeah, I've lived through worse. I love Helsing, and Helsing had a true we can't tell you when the next OVA is coming out, but it's coming out at some point. And it took 15 years, but they were all really damn good. Similarly, Blue Exorcist, I saw some of season 1, I dropped it. I know it does do its own ending, and then season 2 picks back up. And season 2 is the season where we get the name drop of why it's called Blue. I mean, we know why it's called Blue Exorcist, but you know what I mean. We get the title Blue Exorcist. And even after that, I was truly well, I guess it didn't work. They tried a revival, didn't quite work out. It's fine. We still have stage play and stuff. But no, season 3 is coming out right now. I truly feel I didn't hear anyone talking about it either. It just kind of came. So, I'm happy for it. I do like the series. I don't like it that, compared to a lot of the other series I need to catch up with eventually. I'm probably not gonna read Blue Exorcist again, just for this, or at least not on the channel. Just because it's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly fine monthly, yokai style, exorcist style series. It does what it does quite well, but it didn't have that X factor that made me go a rabbit over it. Also, I should probably take a moment to just say don't worry, still gonna do catch up with JoJo Lands. But I'm definitely putting the non-jump stuff on the back burner as it's been on for years. But right now is a specific I've got some more motivation to send out more resumes and stuff, so I've been applying to more places that I usually don't. I've been exploring alternate avenues. I really would not like to get locked into a contract with one of those places that takes 1/3 of your paycheck. But honestly, things are getting kind of tight. I might have to. We'll see how it goes. We shall see. But that is that. Strange updates. I guess what I should also say is that I'm definitely healing up, but I'm still a bit on the mend. So it's really been a situation where it's I could probably plus ultra go beyond, but I'm not quite feeling it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it'll work out. Also, at some point, I've got to update the archives. The archives are definitely lagging behind. I I don't move the thumbnails that I make and the descriptions and whatnot until I've like re-rendered the reaction itself to make it a little bit smaller so I can like store it more efficiently. And I haven't done that for a bit, so I've got a backlog, but I'll get that done. Don't worry. I've if should the YouTube channel go down, I do not want to have like a year disappear. So we'll work it out. Ganbare, we can do it. I hope your 2024 has been going well as well. Uh, there's not much else really to say. Channel stuff is pretty stagnant. Yeah, Donut's Patreon, he's been putting out more MCU stuff, but we haven't recorded MCU stuff for a little bit, so at some point, like, we're gonna hit a wall there. We'll see where it is. And so, similarly, we do just have to like record more stuff. But even then, I'll be honest with the later stuff we've gone through. Like some of them are really good. Like whenever we put out Multiverse of Madness, that one was a fucking banger. Love and Thunder as well, loved that one. But some of the shows and whatnot, the reactions definitely aren't quite as good because the series themselves were up and down. I feel like more you can go to other channels to hear about that. I feel like that's a pretty common sentiment. And I think we're more positive than most, but it's still been worming into it a little bit. Anyways, that's about it for the big updates. Do check out Donut's Patreon if you like yourself some Bleach. Devilman, I believe, is just coming right out on the YouTube channel. It's one of the few things he's been able to find where he won't just get insta-striked for it. He always tries, with Bleach, for instance. I believe he did put up unlisted Volume 1 and immediately got stricken. So it truly is just there's no goddamn way. YouTube is so rough. If only we could just block everything in Japan. It would help so much, honestly. Apologies to the Japanese fans, but truly, uh, like when we all started manga reactions, including Kitsuta, who's an absolute OG. YouTube's definitely way more permissive manga stuff, and it definitely helped a lot with early channel growth, or with our previous channels. They definitely exploded a lot more. Whereas now it's rough, and a big part of that is because I gotta do the redirects for Jump. You can't just randomly be looking up for a few weeks from now Shoha Show 1026 and accidentally get one of my reactions because the redirects are deprioritized. If you try to Google them, you're probably not gonna find them. You're probably gonna find music videos and stuff before you find, even if you look up the exact title. So it's a little rough out there. Anyways, I'm blathering on. That is all to say. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for the views I got right now, because it's still crazy that when my views dip, it is because I'm posting the videos extremely late, or because X or Y screw up happens. But pretty generally, you guys are quite loyal, and I really, really appreciate that, especially now when there's so many other things you could be watching. Okay, that's enough. This has gone on way too long. You're not here for the sap, you're here for the cum and the memes. And I don't think there's cum or memes in this reaction, so sorry about that. Next week, for sure. Next week, for sure, somehow. Anyways, that's that. Bye for now. Yeah, yeah.